What's going on, everybody? Mike here from You Suck at Bitcoin, and today's video is number 8 of my 10-part series, an absolute beginner's guide to cryptocurrency, where I walk you through the steps of understanding what Bitcoin is, what cryptocurrency is, all the way through purchasing your first cryptocurrency and understanding what you're buying, which is what we're going to be talking about today. If you stumbled in here from the internet just to find out about how to research altcoins, you're in the right place anyway. But if you do want to check out those other videos, they'll be listed below. All links to all 10 parts of the series. So make sure you hit subscribe as well and like if you are learning something today. But today we're talking about one of, I think, the most important things that you can do as a cryptocurrency investor, aside from putting money into it. You need to understand what you're putting money into so that you can have the mental fortitude and the conviction to hold for the long term, to know when to buy, to know when to sell, and investing in projects that you actually believe in, things that you think will stand the test of time, or things that you think will actually solve a real world problem, not just something that somebody recommends on YouTube or one of your friends tells you that they think is going to go to the moon by 2018, 2019. No, you need to put in your own research. You need to do the work yourself. And you need to be the one that decides what is valuable and what is going to stand the test of time, because many of these altcoins, I'm sorry to say, will not stand the test of time and will not be around in 5 years. So you need to figure out for yourself what projects you believe in and what will last. And today we're going to talk about how you do that. So first, before we jump into the internet, because the internet is where you're going to find out most of this information, we're going to talk about where to look on the internet, where you're going to be actually finding this information and gaining this information for yourself. So first and foremost, the easiest place to start, if you have a particular cryptocurrency you've heard about or that you want to learn more about, head to CoinMarketCap. There are other sites that you can go to, but CoinMarketCap does do a good job of listing most of them, and they have the main resources that I'm going to talk about further on here. So it's a good place to just gather all the information, to get all your links, to quickly gain some information when you're starting out. CoinMarketCap.com. And we're going to do that live in a minute or two. On CoinMarketCap, you're going to find the website for each cryptocurrency. You want to scroll through the website and definitely get a feel for what the project is and how professional it is. You're going to be looking and reading the white paper before you invest $1. You want to read the white paper and find out what this team is trying to accomplish with their project. And speaking of the team, you want to do research about the team, see which individuals are working hard on this project, what their credentials are, what other projects they've been working on before, and why they are a valuable asset to this project. You're going to be going on their GitHub, which is basically where they are pulling their information. They're working on the actual product, and you can see that live. You can see and make sure that they are updating it regularly, that they haven't just abandoned the project and no updates have been made to the code or to any part of the project for many months. That's a big red flag and probably something you don't want to invest in, yet people do. You want to go on their social media profiles. You want to find out how active they are, what they're saying, and what other people are saying as well, which goes into the hype of the overall project. And we're going to be getting into a lot of the specifics on how you can get a feel, how you can feel the pulse of this project, why people believe in it, what kind of people are believing in it, and what they think is going to come from this. A lot of these projects are built on hype. This is a hugely speculative market. So you want to either take advantage of that or realize that perhaps the hype that's going into it won't last. But hype is a real thing, and hype is driving the price right now. So there's no reason that you shouldn't take advantage of a good project that is super hyped up. So let's actually go away from this PowerPoint. We'll come back to this after we venture out into the internet to do a little research ourselves. All right, guys, here we are on coinmarketcap.com. And regardless of how you feel about CoinMarketCap, about their charts or how fast it loads and stuff like that, it's still a good resource for you to initially go and kind of grab all of the information that you need about a particular coin when you first hear about it, just to get the basic information before you put a lot of hard effort into researching projects. It's just a good place to go to. They have most coins listed, or usually after a coin is made or the ICO goes, they usually get it going. So let's just do some research on the fly here, just real quickly going through to get a basic feel. I want to find something that I don't know much about. So let's go with loop ring, because I don't really know too much about loop ring. I haven't put a lot of research into it. The first thing you want to do after you click on it is just to check out some basic information about it if you don't already know the current price in US dollars, in Bitcoin, Ethereum levels. You also want to take into account the circulating supply, definitely an important thing to know, and also the total supply. So we can see here that the circulating supply is 561 million LRC, what a loop ring coin, I assume, and the total supply of 1.37 billion LRC, meaning that a little under half of the supply has been released already. And we can take a look at the total market cap as well, just to get a good feel for it, because just you don't want to just solely look at the price of it, that it's 80 cents. That doesn't really tell you much. You need to take into account all of these things. You can take a quick look at the chart as well to see how long it's been around, to see kind of where it is in its growth curve. We can see that it took a big spike right after the new year, and it has kind of been retracing, which is a healthy thing for it. Let's take a look at the website. This is the first thing you want to click. Right over here on the left side under the name of the coin is the main resources that we're going to be dealing with in this little fly through, I want to call it. So we'll click the website, and we want to just get a general feel for how much time and effort that they go into their kind of PR. They could be a team of geniuses that are creating the thing that's going to change the world, but it is still important to get an idea for how much outreach they have, how much they want to make it accessible to the everyday person. So we can see right here, they tell you upfront what it is. It's a decentralized exchange and open protocol, and they give you their little thesis statement down here. Loopring is not only a protocol, but also a decentralized automated execution system that trades across the crypto token exchanges, shielding users from counterparty risk and reducing the cost of trading. Okay, so they've already given you a bunch of whys. They've given you a bunch of reasons why they are creating this thing and what this thing is serving to do. I like that. By pooling the liquidity of cryptocurrencies, we are building the financial system of the future. Okay, I know a lot of people are trying to do that, but very interesting that they tell you right up front what they're trying to do. I would have liked them. Well, whatever. This is just like my design, me coming out. I would have liked them to make better use of this space, but that's just me. They tell you the information you need to know, though, up front. They give you features, and they do a pretty good job of explaining them. And then here they give you the white paper. I like that. I like all of the things I listed in the PowerPoint. I like when they are all accessible to you very quickly. You don't have to dig too deep to find out about what they're trying to do, their thesis statement, the problems they're trying to solve, the team, the white paper. These are all very important things that I think have up front, so you don't have to do too much digging, and it's always a good sign that they are up front. So let's just click on the white paper. This is something that if you're gonna invest, you need to be researching and really understanding why you are investing into it. The white paper is taking some time to load. Oh, it downloaded. Okay, now here we are on the white paper. We can see it's very neatly written, and there's a lot of information to give. And I'm not saying that you're going to understand everything in the white paper as you read through them, but as you read more and more white papers, you will get an understanding of, I don't want to say how smart the people are, but how committed they are and how much time and thought they've put into these projects. And you're going to get a good sense, just like seeing a website for the first time and understanding how much design, thought, and time was put into it. You're also going to be able to see how much time and thought was put into the white paper and what the scale of what they're trying to accomplish with their project. I'm not going to go through and read any of this for you. Of course, I just want to go through and show you how technical it can get, how much time and thought they can put into it. And like I said, you will get a sense for which projects are kind of worthy of your time and money. Let's just get out of the paper here, go back to the website, and they have a lot of decent backers here. And down here at the bottom, they have their social media, their email, always important to look at. They have their GitHub listed there. Let's go ahead and click it right away. And we can see that they're active in their GitHub. They've updated an hour ago, 8 hours ago, 2 days ago. Sometimes when you go into projects' GitHubs, you can see that they have not been working on anything for months at a time. Sometimes this just means that they are very far along in their projects and they aren't fixing any bugs, they aren't working on anything. But it's always good to see constant updates and constant innovation. So let's scroll back to the website. And we'll go back up to the top and click on team. And here they have, it's always good when you can see their faces. You see their faces, their names, and a little information about them, as well as contact information. You can do your own research. You can read here what they've been a part of, what other projects they've done, and then you can do your own research. Jay here looks like my friend Miko. But you can, the larger the team and the more qualifications they have, obviously, the more people that are on board, the more work they can do, and the more people that believe in it, and the more heads that you have in one space working on one thing, the better, in my opinion. But they also have members and community contributors here and advisors. You want to look at all this information and take it all in. They have an FAQ, a short one, but still for just to answer some frequently asked questions, to help the layperson better understand what they're trying to do. And then, of course, they have their roadmap set up. Let's take a look at this. I love looking at roadmaps and see not just the roadmap and how much they have that they want to get done, but how they're keeping up with the previous things on their roadmap and then how far it extends. It's really good to see an extensive roadmap where they are looking well into the future and not just past like the ICO phase of trying to just get money. You can see that they only go up to March of 2018, which I don't actually like to see. I usually like to see it to go further than that, but that's okay. Anyway, you'll do further research in your own time and on projects that you care about, but I just wanted to fly through one that I did not know much about. We're back here at CoinMarketCap, and you also want to click on announcement here, which will take you to the Bitcoin talk page. And this forum is really good because from the moment they kind of announce their status, that they announce that they're a thing, we can see here the first post was made back in August 6th of 2017. It's only about 6 or 7 months old. They did their ICO back then. And then we can see pages and pages of talk. There's only 12 pages here, which is okay. That this probably is only their ICO announcement. But you can go on Bitcoin Talk. I highly suggest you do and find the thread about Loopring. There are going to be other threads too about people talking about things within Loopring or things within any type of crypto that you're going to be looking into. And you can go from the inception, like the very first announcement, all the way through today. And you can scroll through however you want. It's a really good place to read. It seems kind of OCD, but if you go through them and just kind of get a feel for what people are talking about the project, you can get a feel for that hype. You can also get a feel for the type of problems that the project might be having and how the team handled it. You can see the response from the official people on the team, the community members, and see how those conversations go. It will give you a really good feel for how the community acts as a whole. But you can also check out their social media. On their website, we saw that they had listed at the bottom their Twitter. I didn't see anything else aside from their Twitter and their GitHub. Sorry. Yeah, their GitHub. They have a Rocket Chat, Twitter, And then on Medium, they have some articles, but we'll click on their Twitter real quick. But you also want to look on each of these projects to see their Twitter, if they have a Telegram group, uh, whatever they have, you want to keep up to date with that and see how active they are on that and see what people are saying about that as well. So here we can see that they retweeted something 19 hours ago, 9 hours ago, 9 hours ago, 21 hours ago, yesterday. Just see what they're promoting, see if it's just kind of self-promotion or if they're saying anything of value, anything that helps the community. Just it's always good to have your finger on the pulse of that as well. So just a quick crash course, nothing too exciting, things that you probably already knew, but just minimum information that you should kind of get on your radar before you start making investments, and especially finding out the big answers, the big whys of why you're putting your money into these projects and why they are of value, which we're going to get back into in the PowerPoint next. All right, we're back here in the PowerPoint, and we're going to talk about the whys that I just mentioned and the questions that you should be able to answer. If somebody asks you, hey, why should I invest in this thing that you're invested in? It's important to, again, I suck at Bitcoin, so I should not be giving you advice, and you suck at Bitcoin too, so you shouldn't be giving advice, but you should be able to at least defend your positions, defend the reason why you put your money in something. And when somebody asks you to get a better information and a better understanding of why maybe they should put some money in, or invest in something or believe in a project that you believe in, you should be able to answer some very basic questions and not just say, well, this guy I follow on YouTube suggested it, or I don't know, it's called uh, VeChain, or it's called OMG and I really like that, or its website had my favorite color, or it's the worst answer is it's going crazy right now. It's going off to the moon. Because that is the time that you should not be investing in. And in coin market cap, we saw most of the coins are on a downtrend right now, because at the current moment, in the beginning of February 2018 here, Bitcoin's seeing a crash. And this is the time that you should be investing, not in the time where it's going crazy, going parabolic, when everybody else is. This is the time that you should be starting to think about purchasing altcoins and putting into a implementation that research that you should have been doing for a long time and waiting for that price. So these are the very basic questions that you should absolutely know the answer to and be able to at least have a 5-minute conversation with somebody when they do engage you in conversation to ask you why they should be invested in something that maybe you are too. Number one, what problem does it solve? In my opinion, this is the most important reason that you should be investing your money into anything. It should solve a real world problem. It should do something to change an industry, or make something better, or solve some pain point in people's lives, in the industry's life, in a business's life. That is the main reason that you should be investing into it, because then it will actually have a use case, and you should know what it is. And what makes it different. There could be many different things, especially in crypto, trying to solve the same problem. What separates your project that you're putting your money into from another project that's trying to solve the same problem? Maybe what makes it different? Not necessarily better. That could be up for judgment. But what makes it different and sets itself aside from everything else? Number three, who is behind it? And we already talked about this a little bit, about the team, who's actually behind it, developing it and creating it. But this also uh, implies like what companies are behind it, who are the advisors. Does Vitalik Buterin, does he support it? That's a big thing. Is IBM invested in it? Are any big companies supporting it or believe in it long term? That's a big thing to know. And also, who else is behind it as far as community? What is all the hype about? Who is talking about this project? Who is putting their money into it and just shilling it to everybody that they know? That has a lot to do with things too. Not as big as the team, of course, but when you have a lot of mainstream support, um, the best technology doesn't necessarily matter if everybody else is adopting it anyway. That those are the projects that are going to take off, like it or not. And finally, where is it heading? What does their roadmap look like? What do they plan to do in the future? How far out does the roadmap extend, like I said? And what do they see their long term vision as? And what do you see their long term vision as? Do you see this thing as something that's going to last for 5 years? Is it going to last for 10 years, 100 years? Is this going to change the world? If that's the case, then it's heading to the moon. So you got to ask yourself in a realistic sense, what is the long-term longevity of this project? And also, are there any events coming up? Where is it heading as far as their roadmap for publicity? Are there conferences coming up? Are they having their own conference? You can also check out coinmarketcal.com. I'll link that up below or in the show notes page. Just like coinmarketcap.com with just one different letter, CAL, like calendar. That's going to show you a calendar of all of the cryptocurrencies, all these coins and events that they do have coming up, whether it's a rebrand or a conference or an announcement or a beta test. You can search by coin or by date to see what different coins have coming up. Neo, for example, has a whole bunch of ICOs that are going to be launching on the platform. A big reason why I think the price is taken off a bit and will maybe continue to take off. So it's good to have your finger on the pulse of that kind of stuff. What is the future hype going to be like? And are some of those future hypes already baked into the price? So those are questions you want to ask yourself as well. Okay, so now you have your coin, you have your project that you believe in, that you have your conviction for, and you want to know what to do now. Um, the first thing that I would say is to try to have conversations with other people. Perhaps you have other friends in real life that you can talk to, that you do already talk to about crypto. Hopefully, they're well informed and they can make educated counterpoints when you want to. Talk about this new thing that you just found and that you've really put a lot of time and effort into researching. And you want to be able to have conversations with them. You can also join online groups. You can go on Bitcoin Talk, as we discussed before. You can be active in that community and ask any questions that maybe you've had already. You can join the social media of this, whatever project you believe in that you're going for, and asking questions there, just participating. And if you can try to find skeptics as well, maybe people that believe in a coin that's trying to solve a similar problem, that's trying to do the same thing, but in a different way, talk to them, find out why they believe in their coin. And this leads me to the next point of being open. Hopefully you haven't put the money in yet. Hopefully you haven't invested your money in yet because you're going to be patient. Be open to understanding the counterpoints to all of the kind of points that you've already developed in your brain, in your heart, in your soul, even. Just because you really have put a lot of time and effort into researching this thing, that doesn't mean that you have to go all in on this thing or even at all in on this thing. Be open to understanding the counterpoints to the arguments that people are going to make about this project well into the future, because it's not going to just be a right now type of decision. These are things that are going to happen. There's going to be things that are going to come up. If you can try to figure out the best overall big picture view of this whole thing, that's going to do you a great service, because you're going to be prepared when bad news comes out, when some of these things come to the forefront, these potential problems or arguments. You're going to be prepared to hold with your convictions because you've already had the forethought to think about these things. So just be open and don't be pot committed, as we like to say in poker. Just because you've put that time in, it's okay that you've put all that time and effort into it and you don't take any action on it. In fact, it's probably better that you don't once you have a big picture view of things. So just be open and try to find as many avenues for yourself to be engaged with other people. So it's not just you and your own brain, or you and the echo chamber that sometimes happens when you go on YouTube or Twitter and search for a particular thing because you're looking for confirmation that you're making the right decision. Before most people, it's after you've already hit the buy button to tell you that you've done the right thing. It's very easy to find an echo chamber for anything. People that are very, very bullish on a particular thing, and the way YouTube algorithms work, like they're going to keep showing you videos that say the exact same message. So it's easy to feel like the entire world is on your side when that might not be the case. So try to find counterpoints to this and be as hard on yourself as you possibly can. It's just the smart thing to do. It might not be the funnest thing to do, but definitely be open to other sides of arguments. All right, and the next thing is to be patient, and this is the point basically where you're going to be investing money, and you have had conversations, you do believe in this thing, you've answered all the questions, you can have a conversation with anybody about this, and promote it to them, or be able to have a decent argument with them about it and why you believe in this thing. Be patient and wait for the price that you want. Do some basic technical analysis, and also perhaps cost average in. None of this is financial advice, of course, but it's sometimes much easier and much less stressful thinking about the price every single day, waiting for the right moment to dump all the money that you have in fiat, like that's waiting to deploy into this thing. Maybe just wait and cost average in over a period of days, weeks, months, however you see fit, and wait for a good price. If this particular project is going crazy, parabolic, and everybody else already believes in this, and maybe just wait for that retracement. Wait for the price to go down a little bit so you're not buying at the top, even if it's a project that you think you're going to be holding for the long term, a decade even. Maybe just hang on a second and don't buy at the top or the temporary top. That might be the top for a few months, and that kind of sucks to buy at the top and be waiting for it to go back up to new all-time highs. Just be patient and just come up with a plan, whatever that plan is for yourself. Just come up with it. That's the next point. Make a plan. Decide what exit points are you going to get out of this crypto, if you're going to get out of it at all. Are you going to hold it for the rest of your life? If that's not the case, you should come up with a plan and decide, do you want this to 2x, 10x, 100x? And then how much are you going to take out when it does do that thing? Are you going to bring it back into Bitcoin? Are you going to take all of it into Bitcoin? Are you going to take it into US dollars? Are you going to take half of it? Whatever. Like, I don't think there's a wrong plan. I think that it's just important that you do have a plan, because then it can get confusing and emotional when the very volatile crypto market happens to you and it smacks you in the face, and you don't know exactly what to do, to buy, to sell, whatever. Just come up with your plan, and it will make it much less stressful for you in the future. Which reminds me of a very important point that I almost forgot to just make. Set a stop loss for yourself as well. Things happen, and that's why you want to really stay updated on the project. Don't just say, okay, I'm closing my browser now, I'm holding this forever, and then go into a cave. Things happen. Things fall apart, for better or for worse. Sometimes people leave projects. Maybe somebody you really believed in on that team decided to go pursue something else. Maybe it doesn't have anything to do with the project that you believe in. Maybe it's still a great project, but their exit from the project could just destroy the project completely, and the other team members could abandon it. Tons of things can happen that you're not ready for, that you could not see coming. So you want to stay updated and know what's coming, and also set a stop loss for yourself, so that if you happen to buy into something and it just tanks, like completely tanks, and you have lost all your convictions for this project, you want to always set stop losses in any investment, I think, so that you can limit your losses and you're not holding crazy bags for a long time. You can always get back into projects when you find a better price or a better timing. It's always good to set a stop loss for yourself. Whatever percentage you want to set for yourself, whether it's 10%, 20%, whatever, that's up to you. But always a good idea to set a stop loss for yourself so that you're not immediately holding bags for no reason. And then finally, my last piece of advice goes back to that first point in this list of having conversations. You want to be an ambassador for this thing. Now that you've invested in this, like now you can shout from the mountaintops that you've done the research, you can answer all the questions, you've put your money behind this thing. You never want to give financial advice to anybody, but at least now you can be an ambassador for this project that you really believe in. And there is so much power in just one-to-one conversations with people. There's so much power in that. That's where the best referrals come for companies. They say the best thing you can do is to share your experience with someone else. The trust factor that happens in real life when I can talk to my best friend and say, hey, I'm doing this thing. Here's why I believe in it. That's way better than a YouTuber telling you what to do, or somebody on the internet, or somebody in a Discord chat, or a Telegram group. Not like the best type of interactions you can have are with family, friends, and people that look up to you, perhaps in the crypto world. And now that you actually have the evidence, now that you've actually put the time and effort into it, you have authority. And that can go a long, long way in ways that you can't really calculate. Um, the more people that are talking about it, the better. And when people are having educated conversations about it and educating the less educated, I'm not saying people are uneducated. I'm just saying that in this world, people are looking for other people to do the work and tell them what they should invest in. That's what a lot of the people that on YouTube that are giving picks, people are watching them because they don't feel like doing the research. They feel like researching researchers, researching people who have put the time and thought into it, to give them that information so that they can deploy their money to it. People are willing to do that. People are willing to just put their money into something without doing the research. And they're going to do it regardless of if you give them advice or not. And again, you shouldn't give them advice financially, but they're going to do it no matter what. So you might as well give them your information about this project that you truly do believe in, and give them at least the information to make that decision for themselves. There's so much power in being an ambassador. And when you truly believe in something, you should be telling people, and you should be proud of your conviction in this thing. And again, that also keeps up with the whole conversation cycle. As you in the beginning stages of this investment were looking for people for advice or to talk to bounce ideas off of, now you can be that other side of it and give your educated responses to their questions. So, some basic information here. Probably a lot of stuff that you already knew or have thought of before about researching altcoins. This is just my take on it. A lot of it has to do with being just in a better psychological state before you put your money in, so that you can continue to be in a good psychological state as the markets continue to fluctuate and go crazy. You really want to know what you're putting your money into, and you want to personally believe in it. There are tons of projects out there that have not hit the forefront. And if you are being one of those people that just goes on and asks for other people's advice and what they're investing into, you're going to be getting into those projects at a very late time. If you can jump ahead of the game and find these projects before other people do, you're going to be one of the few that's actually putting in the time and effort into finding those projects. So hopefully this did give you a basic understanding and some guidance as to where you should be putting your thoughts and your time before you start putting your money into crypto, specifically altcoins. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about where to safely store your crypto once you have made those purchases. But that's it. That video, and then one more after that, and then you are graduated. You are not an absolute beginner anymore. If you like this video, please hit the like button. That really helps out with the YouTube algorithm as we are growing. And also hit the subscribe button and the notify bell if you want to continue to get updates, because I've got a lot of stuff planned once we get through this basic course. But that's it for today. Hopefully you learned something today. And always remember that you do suck at Bitcoin. So do I. But that doesn't mean that we can't make a ton of money in this crypto revolution, so long as we're willing to put in the time and effort into making better decisions. All right, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.